here. I just wanted to bring you back for a quick build update across the board here. I'm going to try to make this a very quick one. As you can see, I managed to carve a little bit of a back way right now over to the build challenge path here. And we're going to take you in, and I'm going to show you not only, of course, since I last recorded over here, the signs have all changed and that there's no coal backing on them anymore. But also, we've got this over here, and this is actually my entry into the build challenge. Now, I'm not exactly sure what, if anything, is going to go on the end of this. I'm kind of leaving that open. Maybe it'll just be another nondescript building. It just has to be something that's a little lower because, of course, it would otherwise crowd out things. And I'm using my camera account to show off the video of this. No replay mod just yet for 194, but there's a little bit of a teaser that was showing it working in 194, but of course now that's just in time for all the 110 hype. Still kind of waiting on that, but I decided to go out and get myself a second account so I could do some camera stuff. I've got my King Kong on top of the building here. Really, that should be one of the statues along the side. And it's not really proportioned right. I should really have the head up probably another block if I want to make that accurate. And of course, the statues aren't really necessarily holding anything either, but if there is going to be one change I make to this build at this point, it's going to be to come back and carpet. Because I've already caught a wither skeleton out here, because unfortunately this is all within the nether fortress. You can see it was cut off over here, and we've since made our way over to it, so it makes a nice little quick wither grinding area, but yeah, it's just a little problematic that they're spawning there. What I did do, let's also go through and show you over here. This path has now been taken out to the full width. I've got a little kind of stable arrangement over here, ad hoc. We've got some building supplies, but not much. Looks like someone dropped off some lime walls. Kind of commenting on TeamSpeak that was a little bit of a problem with the wither skeleton stuff. So I'm going to actually go and at some point raid all of my wither skeleton farms. Or not wither skeleton farms. I don't have any of those. My cactus farms. Sorry, my brain's kind of stuck on one topic there. I'm going to raid the cactus farms and at my place, and then I just have to go out and raid the various mob farms for string. It's going to be the quickest way to do it. So that's the Hotel Monseñor. It's not much of a fancy build. I mean, it's really kind of intended to be out in the background because I don't know if anyone's really had any plans out here yet. And it looks like it's a big build area, but when you get down into creative here and you start looking around, it's like, there's really not much room. So I didn't want this to be too big. I mean, really, I was thinking I could really double up the towers here and build kind of a twin to it, but I didn't want to do that. Inside, I'm not really doing much right now for decoration. It's just kind of very bare bones-ish. It's not really intended to be. I'm basically probably going to plug off the end of the walkway here. Well, I was going to plug it off, but then I said, well, it could be. This could actually be our path through, because obviously we've got Cleo's path up here, and that's why when I took the path through the wall here, I had to take it down quite a bit, because all of the nether is built off of one path, so everything would come straight across and intersect, which we don't want. So that's why that's gone down quite a bit, but there is a path. In fact, the sign is actually concealing a method to get all the way down to the bottom floor here. There are some glowstone. I'm missing some coal too, darn it. Coal has been the biggest problem with this build. I've pretty much used up all of the coal I had. Everything in here for the tower itself is, aside from the half slabs there, is all from the build area out here. And there's quite a bit of useful stuff over there. But the coal blocks have so far come from me, unfortunately. I do have a request in that chest there to get some additional block types just to kind of give a little more variety to it. But yeah, I'm still waiting on it. But anyways, so that's my entry into the competition. I'm kind of happy, but not happy with the sign spacing on the lettering. But everything was working out pretty good for spacing except for the bottom R there, the L there, because the M was really the hard one to do on a 3 wide area. So that's why I've actually got a end rod in there, kind of acting as a bit of the M. Everything else kind of went okay. If I were going to redo it, I'd probably drop the Teen Hotel down a little bit. But I didn't want it to also sit too far down because I was already in trouble by the time I started getting this building built. This has been widened out fully. No further work on the path out to the nether that way, but the red path itself used to end here, and it has since been plowed out all the way. I mean, you can't really get much further from spawn here out to here. So this is Magoo's work over here, and I like the design. I think that's going to match pretty well with the primary path. Same thing with the end path over on the yellow portal. It's a long path, so Magoo is way out here, probably at the world border, if not anything. Is all of... Looks really good when you're flying down at its speed. So Magoo's all the way out here. So I'm guessing he's the one who's doing a lot of the work on getting everything put out here. I'm not sure what that's for. The only oddball thing with that is we did kind of say that we wanted to leave fortresses intact where we went through them. But where it's a primary path intersecting, I'm not sure that's particularly reasonable, let alone doable. That is Jedi's work on this particular path, which I really like. I think he's doing a really good job with it, so interesting to see him take off on that. Delorphin, I believe, has claimed this path, so I'm just going to put the last of the slabs down and stop. But you can see here's where the progress has been made on the wall out this way. The 300 path, I have not changed anything on the red side of it. I need to... It's kind of weird because Iggy lives out both paths technically, but I need to come back along here and start extending the sides on this one to make it match up with the approved sizes. But I think what I'm going to do is kind of hold off until this wall is made out here, because then I know I've got the path in the right spot, because it's a little wonky. I suspect that my secondary tunnel is off in certain directions. The problem is that the coordinates were just a little off when it was all laid down in the first place, so it's causing some problems. Looks like this is brand new over here. And I can show you some of the stuff that's been done in the hub here because it looks absolutely amazing. This is actually known. I think the reason that this is, I found very early on with all the work being done in the nether, really kind of need to have the ends capped off of your tunnels. Otherwise, the gas will just happily sit down at one end and shoot you non-stop. So this is our nether hub, and I like the concealed lighting that's going on up here already. The inside of this, I think, is more or less done at this point. The only thing that's really in here at this point, I don't know how much longer it'll actually be here, is the super smelter down here. Delorphin was ridiculously busy going after the end for a lot of the obsidian, so that's where that's coming from. We've got a little bit of a regen setup out there. I don't think we've really kind of figured out how we're going to do a directory in the nether. There is something in the overworld, but it doesn't really... it's a little out of date, and at least I think it's still a little out of date. And, you know, obviously it's in the overworld. It's not in the, anywhere near where we actually need to use it. So this is all hand dug out down here. This is not any of the trickery that we did with Cleo's Rapture build challenge setup. Flying toward the server. Oh yeah, so we're actually out by the mountain homes. Anij was away on vacation for a little bit, and so of course she got pranked again. not only with this little guy here, the Monastery of the Holy Cow. This is a play on stuff she had in place on the last server. But also, over here, we have our Muda statue here. And I absolutely love the fact that the legs are crossed and the arms are crossed like that. Just a really adorably cute cow statue. So that is Muda, prophet of the Brotherhood of the Holy Cow. There really should be... someone said there should be exclamation points after that. There really should be. Kind of scary when you come on the server and you see something like this inside of 2 months. Yeah. Great googly moogly. I'm not sure whose plot this is, but dang. It's making me feel very, very lazy at this point, where all I have is a bunch of half slabs in the nether to show for what I've done versus this. I mean, that is just big. Now, mind you, I don't know if this is something that is a mod project or what, but good grief. This is kind of what I wish I could have built on 2 Zombiecraft maps ago. Everywhere I go, I manage to get distracted because someone's building something. Actually, this is kind of tucked into the mountain home range, if I remember correctly. Ooh, I like that. That's a nice looking fountain. We got that, and we got a dam over here. The bridge. Fold the stuff with the whale. So that came out looking really nice. I like that wall. It's not a very secure wall, as in anyone with... I guess you could... Yeah, it's reasonable. Well, yes and no, because you... Trapdoors have been a little wonky. I think the last time I tried it, I found that you have to have the ladder under it for it to act like a ladder, which is kind of a little on the weird side. Sideways door. Nice little house here. That looks like it's supposed to be a bigger city wall. Probably kind of... That's the outlying land, and this is... Doesn't really make sense as a city wall if that's kind of on the inside, but... Getting distracted. Well, getting distracted and getting inspired. I mean, let's be honest. This kind of stuff is really good for getting inspired on things to build. Oh, this would have been a nice spot to build. If I wasn't so set on doing the Zombiecraft Studios, this would have been pretty interesting to do. So Ice Kings claimed this area. This was something I had just wanted to... I actually had terrain staked out on Zombiecraft Season 2. No, Season 1. Yeah, space on... There's fortress on... well, not a fortress, but a spot on Season 1 that I kind of put my name on, which is kind of a valley surrounded by mountains like that. And kind of wish I'd actually been able to build there, but it just didn't work out in the end because I had my hands pretty full with a couple other projects at the time, mostly the old Border Village redesign. I kind of did that instead of doing a moving on type thing. So some of those portals down there. Oh, we've got an airship over here. Ooh. That is nice looking. Let me turn that off so we can get a much better look at that. That is very nice, whoever's this is. Holy moly. And is that... No, it's not. Okay, I guess it's because I'm in spectator that I'm hopefully not causing any mobs to spawn. So one of the problems with living out so far, not having my main account online and not being able to snap to it, is trying to remember how to get out to your place when you can't exactly fast travel. But actually, there we are. I also, actually, I didn't show this to you guys earlier. I did some work on what's going to turn out to be the evil villain's lair, I think, over here. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge because I need to build a giant death ray, which I've never exactly attempted to build that in Minecraft before. But you can see I've added another tier onto this storage. This is going to be the main platform. There's a tower over here that came into place virtually inside of an hour or two, borrowing a little bit of inspiration from MacLeod on Hermitcraft, and it's not something I put a floor in here because I really am not expecting anyone to actually make it up. I'm not really. There's nowhere to put any way to get up here is the problem. I can't even do anything decent for a translocator there. But I'm going to kind of build it out a little bit more in this direction and a little bit more in this direction and try to wrap this piece around the back end of the building. So it's going to be kind of one, the stairwell here is going to link up to this platform. This is going to be like the lab. And then I've got to build a death ray over here after I raise this up a little more, because I really don't want to have to build a roof. And if I put a giant freaking laser on top of the building, I don't have to worry about building a roof. But that'll kind of be the sci-fi set for me. I'm pretty happy with where it is right now, so I'm probably going to just kind of let this sit and simmer, because I'm not exactly thrilled about the sides there. I might just kind of opt to rip that out and go with more of the smooth stone slabs there all the way up to the top. Like I said, I've got to start clearing out some of the forest there so I can work on this area, and I think this is really what's forefront in my mind right now. And I really do want to get through and finish up the Hill Valley building flats here. You can see I still have a couple that are still here in dirt form. That one's just waiting for some dark oak to finish off that last little bit. I've got to come back over here and redesign the roof of this one to take better advantage of the cactus farm, which also reminds me, this is where I hid the other cactus farm. It's a smaller one, but I think it's working a little better. In fact, if I go... Actually, no, it's not. Okay, good.